In the heart of Sydney's glittering harbour, where the ocean's breath meets steel and stone, stands a building that doesn't just sit on the land, it sings with it. The Sydney Opera House is more than an icon. It's a sculpture of sound, light, and vision. A monument born from imagination and hardened by controversy. This is a story of a nation ready to define itself, of an unknown architect whose dreams defied convention, and of a building that became the soul of modern Australia. Our journey begins in the 1950s, a time when Australia was still searching for a cultural identity. Sydney's leaders envisioned a performing arts centre that would place the city on the world stage. An international design competition was launched in 1956, and among 233 submissions from 32 countries came a sketch, just a few fluid lines from a Danish architect named Jørn Utzon. His design was radical, poetic, unlike anything seen before, and at first it was almost rejected. But vision prevailed. The judges saw genius in the curves, reminiscent of sails, waves, or shells scattered across the coast. And so, the dream was set into motion. Yet dreams are rarely easy to build. From the very beginning, Utzon faced the impossible. No one had ever attempted a roof structure like his. Soaring, interlocking shells of concrete, balanced delicately like origami made of stone. Engineers scratched their heads. Politicians grew impatient. And costs, initially estimated at $7 million, began to balloon into the tens of millions. As construction crawled forward, Sydney watched in awe and confusion. Some called it madness, others brilliance. For Utzon, it was obsession, chasing perfection through uncharted territory. He collaborated with groundbreaking engineers, used computers for structural modeling decades before it became standard practice, and then it all came crashing down. By 1966, political pressure reached its peak. Budget overruns, delays, and changing leadership pushed Utzon out of his own creation. He resigned, heartbroken, and never returned to see the completed building. The final construction was completed by other architects with significant changes to Utzon's interior plans. In October 1973, the Sydney Opera House officially opened its doors. Queen Elizabeth II was there. So were thousands of Australians. The sails shone in the sun like wings ready for flight. And as music filled its grand halls, a new chapter began. Over the years, the Opera House has become more than a venue. It's a place of stories, of voices, of cultures. Opera, symphonies, ballets, indigenous performances, experimental art. It welcomes millions every year, from casual tourists to global icons of stage and sound. It has been lit in rainbow colors, bathed in candlelight, cloaked in silence, and roared with applause. Its image is found on stamps, souvenirs, textbooks, and tattoos. It has become the face of Australia. But the story doesn't end there. In the decades that followed, the building underwent major upgrades. The acoustics were enhanced, the interiors restored with new technology, and in 2007, it received UNESCO World Heritage status, a rare honor for a structure so young. Even more remarkably, Jørn Utzon was re-engaged to consult remotely before his death in 2008, a symbolic reconciliation between creator and creation. Today, the Sydney Opera House stands not just as a symbol of Australia, but as a beacon for what architecture can achieve when it is brave, bold, and boundary-breaking. It tells us that design is not just about function, but feeling. Not just shelter, but story. It reminds us that greatness often begins with a sketch, a spark, a defiant dream. So when you stand before it, with the wind in your face and the sails towering above, you're not just seeing a building. You are witnessing the power of human imagination, cast in concrete, floating above the sea. This is the Sydney Opera House, and this is its legacy,